Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Charles the Charge 3. You can call me Charles. I release educational Pokemon Unite content. So feel free to give me a sub, like this video if it helped you out, and yeah, comment down below what you want to see next. Today, what we're focusing on is a in-depth Snorlax guide. And I'm going to be breaking down all the nuances about Snorlax. He's a very easy character to pick up, but he's very hard to master. And so I'm going to help you guys with that a little bit to since you know the new Snorlax has been buffed and there's been a few changes to him. So I'm gonna help you guys with that, break it all down for you and walk you through it. So with that being said, let's get straight into the video.
I just want cash, to blow with it came. Grind for the fam, don't want no more pain. Wise and fam, put that on the chain.
Alright guys, so let's talk about the updated Snorlax. So Snorlax now gets his heavy slam at level 5 rather than 6. He gets his block at level 7 rather than 8. And he gets his ulti at level 9 rather than 10. So these are all huge changes to Snorlax. And so we're so now you can play a little bit more aggressively and a little bit more better considering matching up to other Pokemon, right? So let's get into the build, guys. The build is going to be Buddy Barrier, Focus Band, and Score Shield. Every game, guys, 100%. This is the build, the maximum tankiness build. And if you get these items maxed out to level 30, you're able to have a really high impact. Not only with the Buddy Barrier and everything like that, but the amount of HP that all these guys, that both of these items give you between Buddy Barrier and Score Shield, it should round you out about to 1050. And then with the special defense, and then the regular defense added from Focus Band, along with the passive, the healing passive for Snorlax, it's just huge. Combo that with Rest. This is going to be the build for you. All right, so now let's go over laning. So how we start this lane, you want to tackle. Your boosted attack does not fall off after you tackle. So you want to have one of your, if you're in a 1-1-3, you want to have one of your range, either attacker or support, hit this APOM. And then most of the time you want to skip these. You could also hit these with a double tackle, if you want, but for the most time I've been skipping these, right? So you're gonna get here and your Aldegast is gonna drag, right? Gonna drag the Aldino towards your side. How you want to position your body is going to be like this, in between the other defender that's going to try to secure, and also of the Aldino. So you want to be in between these two, and then you'll be able to hit the Aldino. And how the combo works, guys, is gonna be auto attack, slam, auto attack, and that should give you a really fast secure, guys. All right. Okay, so now when it comes to bees, so how I really like to position when it comes to bees, I never like to stack in this bush. Okay, so a lot of people get used to you stacking in this bush. And so a lot of people can throw the skill shots, or you could just get mime rolled and just get fully comboed, right? So I don't recommend stacking that bush. What I do recommend, however, is to move around like this, control the top bush, and then when the bees come up, like how we did on the Aldino, we stand around here, and we should be able to get most of the bees with our team, okay? And so then you're not getting blocked off by the mime roll, right? Because if the mime roll comes down, you can easily go around it right here within the bush, right? And be able to get this. And so during the lane with Snorlax, small things could be is you're just looking for scores here and there, with your Score Shield, looking to press. If you're able to score, cool. If not, don't overextend and die for a score. It's not really worth, because if you do end up dying as a defender, the enemy team, if it's a 3v3, they're able to push your support and your attacker back really far. So it sets your whole team back and it kind of sets the lane really bad, right, for you guys. And especially if the enemy jungler is there as well. If your team isn't really crushing it down in the bot lane, then you can really give up a lot of ground, a lot of catch-up XP to the enemy team if you end up dying. So really choose your deaths carefully, guys. All right, so that is going to be lane. That should be everything. Most of the time when you want to control the lane is just looking at this bush and then also looking at this bush here, and then we're just constantly moving our camera forward and we're just looking around the lane. All right, guys, so try not to ever have your camera, you know, just stationary. Okay, and then just one small tip that I want to add is Snorlax gains more HP when he rests on top of his goal, and also when he's near berries, he gets a slight move speed, right? And then he also gets more HP from berries because of his passive gluttony. So most of the time though, if you're using your, let me get my epic pen out. If you're using your rest efficiently, your health bar would be here, right? But if you use your rest efficiently, then your health bar looks like this. And if you're constantly taking damage and then resting, then it's like you're getting more health, and you're also saving your team those 2 berries back there. That's super huge for you guys. So that's going to be the lane aspect of it. Kind of little things that you could do. Another little tip that you could do in lane is look for flash plays. You could also do this with tackle, and it's just when you go, you can flash. Okay, guys, so just press the flash right after in the midair of your heavy slam, and you just increase that range. Okay, so it's very good at looking at picks, or just, you know, looking to catch somebody really off guard really fast. You can do this with tackle, like I said, and you can get a good pick on someone. A lot of people don't expect that right off the gate. All right, so try to use your tackle more on offense, I would say. You know, but like I said, if you have to use it on defense, you know, go ahead and use it. Like if it keeps you from dying, like that's huge, just use it. But I just tried my best to try to save my flash to be more productive with it, and look for a free pick, because most of the time if you get that flash heavy slam, it turns into 4v5 fight, and so it's a lot easier for your team to win. Okay, so it'd be just heavy slam and then into block from there, right? And then sorry, one last tip that I want to say before we leave the lane guide of this video is that if your team is having a hard time contesting bees or whatever, instead of using your block on the opponents, you can use your block on bees and just push them back to your team, so that your team's a lot easier to clean up bees, a lot more safer, right? And then, you know, it gives your team a little bit more safer XP so that they don't die. So that's little things about Snorlax there that you can be using to your advantage. Okay, guys, so that is going to cover up our lane guide for Snorlax, and let's move into our next part, and that is going to be objective focus. Alright, guys, so we already talked about a lot of the nuances in lane about Snorlax, so now we're going to talk about objective focus and where to stand to best prioritize the objective to get in a good position for your team to zone the enemy back. Alright, so let's get one thing straight with Snorlax. And for many defenders, what your job is to zone the enemy team. Your job is not to hit the objective, right? So Snorlax, if you're playing Snorlax, Wrigley, or Mime, you should never really be hitting the objective, you know, unless you're looking for a confirm, unless your team really needs it and your team gets wiped and, you know, yeah, confirm. But for the most part, you need to be zoning. And so good places to zone is going to be this bush down here, and this bush, right? And so the reason why these bushes are good is you're able to hit a lot of different things. Now this bush that I'm sitting in, it's decent, but where I most favor is going to be right over here. And the reason for that, if we move our camera forward, we can see crab if someone's on the crab. We can see if someone's entering the lane through this way, just coming up straight down the lane, right? We can also see the jungle hallway, like if someone's entering from the jungle, you know, finish up this crab, maybe they're coming down, you know, and we can look for a heavy slam around any of these points, right? And then also if we see anyone entering through river, you know, we can see that. We can also move to there, you know, if they're looking to flank this way. So one of the big things is moving your camera. Camera control is huge, guys, for a defender, because you want to be looking all around and seeing, you know, where you can pick someone off. And then when you pick someone off, guys, when you look to dump CC on them, you want to call that out. You want to say, hey, I have Cinder up against the wall. Like maybe you get Cinder here, you know, you're able to combo her and get her with a block and everything. You can get her up against the wall. You need your team to follow up on that, guys. So you need to be communicating with the team and leading these team fights with proper engagements. Okay, guys, 5v5 team fights are huge, and so, you know, that's what you need to work on, is going to be calling out priority targets and where the CC lands. If you heavy slam block a Venusaur into a wall, you need to call that out. Okay, guys, and so this is basically, let me just draw a line here. This is basically your perimeter, right? You don't want anyone to pass through this area. Okay, guys? So when you stand here, all right? So let's also move this way. So our perimeter changes a little bit, because if we're standing right here and our team is leashing the Dreadnought, you know, farther back this way, then this would be our perimeter, right? Because we want to stay as close to our team as possible. So if we want to stay like a heavy slam away from our team, if we're able to get to our team with a heavy slam, that's fine, right? But if it takes more than a heavy slam to get there, then we have to back up a little bit and we have to look to respect it, right? You know? So don't be afraid to move back, guys, if you have to, but just think of an invisible line, guys, of perimeter. All right, and then let me show you the Rotom really fast. All right, so when it comes to Rotom play, right, so you're gonna be looking to get in this bush. If you guys have first setup, look to get into this bush, then you're able to control the point. Anyone who enters from lane over here, you're able to control anyone who enters down here from the jungle. You're able to control anyone that enters down here, and direct control to the Rotom. So we're able to control a lot of areas with this heavy slam. And if we look, see, guys, you're able to control this way, and even down here. All right, guys. So, and when you're in a bush, guys, and when you're zoning, this is what you should be doing the whole time. You should just be looking. Just be looking for it. Looking on your mini map, right? Alright, guys. And remember that camera control. Looking around this way, looking around this way. You know? Do your best with your camera control. And don't have a stationary camera. So now, alright, so now, if your team did not get first setup right on this Rotom, then this is where you want to look to be in. You want to be looking to get in this bush, and then this is to able to control Rotom up here, and you're able to control this bush over here, and you're able to control anyone who enters in from the mid down there. Okay, guys? So, and if we look with our heavy slam, and if we move up at the edge, we're able to, we can eject heavy slam into the bush. We eject heavy slam over here. can eject heavy slam over here. So you want to just be able to control everything, all these pathways with your heavy slam, guys. So this is what you want to be looking for. Alright guys, one last thing that I forgot to mention about the Drednaw, right? So if you're behind and you're not able to get first setup on these on this bush that we talked about here. So if you're behind and if you're not able to get first setup on the Drednaw, like with this bush that we talked about here, right here, then what you want to do is look to get into these bushes here. So these are the bushes that you want to be looking to get into. And you want to see if you can inch your way forward down here. You could do this play, right? And inch your way forward and look for steal with heavy slam block. Heavy slam eject as well, right? To just flash in, look for a steal with the heavy slam, you know. But if you're looking for a team fight play, then I would suggest entering into these bushes here. You know, and entering in these. Sometimes you just have to face check it, and most of the time what I try to do is face check with a heavy slam. So I just if I have my whole team behind me right here, right, then I'm gonna walk into this bush and heavy slam into this one. So I'm gonna heavy slam into here, right? And this takes up a lot of space, right? So this is something that you can look to do if you are behind, but if your team is backing you up to contest this strato. Okay, guys? But another thing, common theme, remember, don't forget, is to constantly be looking around the lane and looking at what you can do, guys. Alright? So now, next thing, the last thing about objectives is we're going to talk about Zapdos. Okay guys, here we are at Zap, and so let's talk about what we're going to do about Zap Lane, right? So the best way to go about Zap is you never want to enter through the hallways, unless you absolutely have to, but most ways how you want to play Zap is you want to enter through this, right? You don't want to take this launch pad, and the reason why not to take this launch pad, because it's gonna, your team isn't able to follow you up right away. So if they are in this bush and you guys are launching over one by one, it's gonna be quite delayed, and it's not gonna result in a good fight. What I suggest is your team hugging this wall and just moving in to this bush together. Okay, so that's the entry of Zap. So once we get in here, we're looking to control one of two things. If we're ahead and we know we're ahead, right? Either in levels or in points, then what we want to do is prioritize what Snorlax wants to do, right? Is prioritize this hallway, right? And then we're gonna be looking up here, and looking at the top left L as well, you know. And you know, occasionally we're gonna look down here and we're gonna see if people are hopping over, you know, and if they're making that mistake, we can easily jump on them with heavy slam, right? We just go like this. So at this bush we're able to control a lot. Okay guys, and you have to communicate this to your team to let them know what is going on as a defender, right? Even if you're not playing Snorlax, but if you're playing Wrigley or if you're playing Mime, this is going to help you out. All right, so this is where you kind of want to stand, and remember to be moving your camera forward, looking down the hallway, looking at, you know, what's going on, right? The camera forward is going to be a big part, because think about it like this: if you're playing football, right, you don't look at your feet, you look down the field. You know, you want to be looking at what's going on, looking at top L, we're looking over here, we're looking at middle brush and top left L, right? We're looking at bottom L on their side, we're looking at our side, right? We're looking at to see if there's some back happing. You know, as a defender, you want to be constantly moving your camera while you're also, pretend this was a heavy slam, right? You wanna be moving around with this reticle open. right? Just in case if anyone pounces on you, right? Or if you see anyone, you can easily tackle Flash, you know, but Heavy Slam Flash, I should say, right? This is there. Didn't get my Heavy Slam yet, but yeah. So you want to keep that in mind, guys. The reticle, having this open is going to be huge if you are standing in this bush. What I love to do is just stand at the very edge and just look to keep my reticle open. And what I tell my teammates in fights, guys, and what I think every defender should be doing is I tell my jungler to let me know when he's low. Like most of the time, me and my jungler fight together, right? Because if we're playing Greninja or if we're playing a Gardevoir jungle, whatever, right? That combo's so well off of the Heavy Slam block combo, right? Whether it's a Greninja ulting in off of the block or just off of the Heavy Slam, the Greninja just ults in, right? You know, that's something that you want to communicate with your jungler, okay? And you want to play, you know, with them, right? But if you're in solo queue, you know, there's really, you know, you can't really, you know, do anything besides ping, right? But yeah, but if you have comms though, you should be communicating with them. And then also you want to be looking at your jungler's health. I say the jungler most importantly because your ulti for the most part is just a buddy barrier. It's just a buddy barrier to save that carry and to be able to buy time for your team and also get your health back. But the main, like, why we pick Snorlax is the shield is insane, you know, like, and it's just a buddy barrier ult. Like, you're just trying to save your jungler at that point, you know. So that's what you want to be looking for, is looking to just looking at your jungler's health, seeing if he gets low, and if you could save him with a buddy barrier if he goes in and he ults, or if someone ults on top of him and that buddy barrier comes out, like, you save him and you can possibly win the fight off that, right? If you keep your jungler alive. So always keep that in mind, guys. And then yeah, don't ever ult by yourself. Don't ever do that. Don't ever ult for a kill. Don't ever ult to save your life. Like if you're in lane and Zap is coming up, right, you die like 20 seconds before Zap, don't ult to just save yourself, right? Like you know, like if your team is good, right, like if your team's handling the fight or whatever, most of the times I would like you to just die with your ulti rather than ulti and then, you know, yeah, you're all right, you're up, Snorlax, but what are you going to do? Like, what are you really gonna do in the fight, you know, by yourself, right? So it's better to just die with your ult than to just waste your ulti and like be the last man standing, you know. Like, it's, you know, it's better to just use your ulti specifically for a teammate. Yeah. And just to close this out, guys, I just want to talk about priority targets. What Snorlax has to do is be looking for priority targets. So you have to be calling out, like, hey, I'm gonna be looking for Cinder, you know, I'm gonna be looking for a pick on Cinder or a pick on Venu, so on Venu, you know, or we're looking for the Gardevoir in the back lane, you know, I have flash Heavy Slam and get to him. You know, that's things that you want to be constantly talking about with your team, and that's things as a defender should be going through your head. And if you have these things going through your head, you want to make sure you communicate them with your team, because if the CC lands and there's no follow-up, then it's just a dead play and you really can't do anything, and it's hard for the Snorlax to get out as well, you know. So that's going to wrap up my Snorlax guide, guys. I hope this helped you out. You know, and if it did, please leave a like and subscribe, comment what you want to see next, more of an in-depth guide of things, right? I can help break that down for you guys. Don't forget to join our Discord, and you know, you can ask any questions in there. We have a lot of people that would be down to help you out. We also I also stream I stream daily, so if you want to hop in my live streams on Twitch and Trovo, ask me any questions there, whatever you need to know, or anything that I may have gotten wrong or left out, and let me know in the streams or down in the comments below. But anyways, thanks so much guys for watching, and I hope you all have a nice day. Let's come together. See you on the Rift. Peace out.
What it do? Sauce up on you too. You know I'm dripping, baby, and you dripping too. I know you love me, baby, and I love you too.